Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with the video. The top 10 folding knives over $50 for 2018. This is the one that you guys all, I did an Oprah voice there for a second. This is the one that you guys all like to watch. It gets a ton of views for a lot of time, and I'm very happy to bring it to you. I agonized over this list. I had to make some rules. You saw them in the $50 and below video. By the way, how this is going to work this year, as in the $50 and below video, the budget video, I picked a winner. I gave 10 in no particular order, picked a winner. Going to do the same thing here. Not going to tell you who won that one, but we're going to have two winners. And then on Christmas Day, we're going to have a battle to the death to determine what is my best knife of 2018. So I am going to pick a one complete winner. I'm going to do that. I've finally figured out how to do the criteria for it. It's not going to be our normal criteria. That wouldn't really be fair because of price differences and all that stuff. But I figured out some good criteria for it. I think it's going to be a fun video, and I will pick one. Now, here are the rules for how I had to narrow these down. Must be new for 2018. Slight caveat to that is it is currently, I'm recording this on December 13th. This is the end of 2018 for me. Tomorrow, as far as I'm concerned, knife-wise, is 2019. So next year, I have a few. I'm doing this because I'm saying that because I have a few knives arriving that are still like in the mail that stand a good chance of making the list next year, and it's unfair that they didn't quite get here right. But none of them were like delayed releases or anything. So I'm going to call this the cutoff for the end of 2018. So this is all stuff that I got now or before, and ties into rule 2 that I've had long enough to actually have in my hands and formulate an opinion or a review about. That's a very important one because a lot of you guys are going to reply, well, you didn't put the blah blah from the mail, you're an idiot. I probably just didn't get my hands on it. If it's that great, I probably just didn't get my hands on it. That said, also, this is probably going to be, all these knives are going to be in my usual wheelhouse. I do review some knives that are more expensive, but I'm usually in that 300 and below wheelhouse. So that's kind of where we're going to be. It's the stuff that I actually have reviewed. Next up, no limited editions or sprint runs. Reason for that is these videos live forever and they get a whole lot of clicks. Even my terrible ones from last year are still getting clicks. I don't want people to click on it in 2 years and see a knife that they're all excited about and then find out that they only made 150 of them and it's been gone for 2 years. I don't want to do that. And same thing with customs and stuff. There's not going to be anything here. I will say there are a couple slight exceptions in this video. There are not really exceptions, I guess. I'm going to call them full production. There are a couple that are batch, but they come in batches. But I've spoken to both manufacturers. The batches are going to be regular, so I still included those. Now, in fairness, I am going to show a couple three that if I hadn't made this rule, would have stood a good chance of making the list. First up, we have probably one of my favorite knives I've ever owned. This is the Berg Blades Wolf Pup. It's a fantastic knife. This is the one that the Blade Show edition one, and then he's come out with a micarta one since. Fantastic knife. But again, he's very non-committal about whether or not he's ever going to make any more, and so I didn't put it on the list. Next up, the ZT0393 Stonewash. This one specifically, the regular 0393, did not make the list, spoiler alert, because I think it's hideous. But this one, I really like. It's $20 cheaper. It's S35VN. That's kind of a bummer. I wish it was 20 CV, but I still like it better than the regular one. And I do carry this all the time. And then lastly, this is one that almost certainly would have been in the running for my favorite of the year. This is the Doug Ritter RSK. It's fantastic, but it is a Knife Depot exclusive. You can only get it one place, and I don't know when they're coming out again or anything like that. So, yeah, I really wanted to put this one on. I really did, but I'm going to stick with my own rule. Maybe I'll adjust that next year. If they keep making something like this all year long, that will be a different thing, but, who knows. So I pulled it from the list, but, sorry. And then lastly, this is not a hard, fast rule. Try to keep it to one per manufacturer. I'm not going to do that all the time, but again, it's just a way you got to cut it off at some point. And I didn't want a list with, you know, with 9 Spydercos on it and 1 from something else. So I try to keep it 1 per manufacturer. All right, let's get going. We're 5 minutes in here, and I still haven't started the list yet. Number 10, one of my surprise favorites from this year. When the Spyderco catalog came out, this one was not on my radar. The ones that were still haven't come out, so that's a whole other story. But this one did, the Kheper. I did not plan on getting this, but I saw a couple reviews from people who I really respect, 2 guys who I really respect, JT's Knife Life and Dr. Frunky, and they loved it, and I thought, I got to try it. And I'm so glad that I did. Not only is it gorgeous, look at this carbon. The carbon on this is just beautiful. Tai Chung made. $188 in this, by the way. Super slicey blade, designed primarily for food prep by Alistair Phillips from Australia, but it also just makes an excellent EDC. I carry this thing a whole lot. And nice deep carry pocket clip. Yes, it is S30V. Some people are really upset about that for the 188, but I think if you got one in your hand and you saw how the rest of it, you don't think you'd be that upset. And it's S30V. It's not horrible. It's fine. And remember when that S30V used to be good and now we all freak out about it? But love this knife. Fantastic. Next up, the Zero Tolerance 0470. Why did I choose this one over some of the other ZTs that came out this year? As I said, the only 0393 I like is a Sprint, and I'm not going to put Sprints on here. The 0609 is fantastic, but it has that proprietary tool. The 0462 and 0670 don't appeal to me whatsoever, so I never got my hands on them. I not only like this knife for the fact that it's a very good tool, it's very slicey, it has a really good blade, 20 CV, excellent materials, it's titanium, that gorgeous carbon fiber. Not only do I like it for that, and the fact that it's just a beautiful looking knife, I like that it's a representative of where ZT is going, and I'm very happy about this. ZT is making more of these nice EDC size knives. They're not going completely crazy. They still make the crazy stuff. I have an 0562 tie on the way, and yeah, that's a crazy knife. It's big, it's bulky, it's full titanium. It's what you expect from a ZT. But they are making more of these nice, lightweight EDC knives, and I'm very happy for that. This is a basically grown-up version of the Atmos from Kershaw. That's what they call it, but it is much bigger than that. But it is exactly the same shape, and it's a flat grind blade instead of a hollow grind. But it is very similar to that, but I love this knife. Sinkovich design, and it's a really, really nice one. And it's definitely, when I did the review of it, I don't think I wasn't poo-poo on it, but I wasn't as hot on it as I have grown to be after having it around for a while. Next up, we have, this is one that I saw at Blade Show when they announced it, and then I honestly kind of forgot about it, and then it was available, and I got one. This is the Bestech Engine. Great knife. Great little knife. I love my little, you guys know I love my little big knives, and this is definitely a 2-point, blade we got in here. Yeah, it's like a 2.5 inch, 2.6 inch blade. S35 VN, carbon fiber, titanium, looking at $160. And look at that finish. You can get in other stuff. You can get it in other colors. You can get it in plain gray and I think a green and a gold or something like that. But if you're not getting the Spectrum Anno, that's what this one is. You're a crazy person. It is gorgeous. And I love the backspacer that's kind of wraps around. I think that looks so cool. Carbon, it's great ergonomics, very good action, and it's just a really cool little secondary knife. And I actually carry it as a primary a whole lot. You guys have seen it pop up in my EDC videos and stuff quite a bit. Wonderful knife from Bestech. Definitely my favorite of their higher end knives that they've probably ever made, to be honest with you. Next up, we have the Rectifier. We came out with a whole lot this year, but my favorite is still this little guy. It's Dusty. $144, S35 VN, titanium frame lock on one side, just one slab of G10 on the other, and just a super slicey little blade. You're looking at like, I think it was like 14 thousandths behind the edge, It's just a very slicey little knife, 3-inch blade. I do live in an area where sometimes I have to carry under 3-inch, so it's very nice to have this. And it's just gorgeous. I like the way it looks. I love the shape of it. I'm not a fan of the blue hardware. I think it looks absolutely fine on this one, but it does come in a tan or a camo, or sorry, tan or a green. And that, yeah, the blue doesn't look good with that. No, but this one looks very, very good, and I think it's a good value. Ergonomics are great. This is still WE has come out with so many knives, and they've made even more. Gosh, you're gonna see more WE made knives on this list. At least one more, because they make a lot of knives for other people. But just a very well done design, and it was the beginning of WE slipping into these more practical knives. So again, like the 0470, I like that this represents the future of WE, and I like that very much. But it's a great knife in its own right, even without that significance. Next up, we have the Benchmade Shoboom, another 3-inch knife. Again, just pretty. This didn't make it purely for prettiness, but it didn't hurt, I'll tell you that. Not only the Cocobolo inserts I think look great. Some people don't like the holes through it. I think they look fantastic. But also just the quality of this G10. It just looks expensive. It looks almost like carbon. It's really well done. You can get Cocobolo inserts on the thumb studs. You have that fun Benchmade axis lock to play with. Good materials, 20 CV. It is not cheap. It is $212, so definitely not an inexpensive knife at all. But, you know, I think if you get one in your hand, you'll feel like it's worth it. There's so many little details. You know, the little bamboo style stuff on the backspacer. Nice deep carry clip. It's a very well done knife, and one of my favorite little 3-inch knives to carry around. So next up, we are halfway through. We have the Three Rivers Manufacturing Neutron. Wow, another 3-inch knife. What a quinky-dink. No, I love the Neutron. It is basically a locking version of the Viator that they had out earlier this year. They were TRM's been killing it this year. The Viator, the Atlas, all three of them. I love all three. This one is my favorite though, because again, it's a locking blade, but there's such a slicey 20 CV blade on this thing. It's just fantastic. This one happens to have the black micarta scales on it. You can get several colors of G10 and some other ones, and a carbon fiber, matte carbon fiber, I know, but I like these. It's nice because you can swap them so easily. All you got to do is, you don't have to take the pivot off. These 2 screws, pocket clip, and then 2 screws, and it's easy peasy. You got it swapped. And I like these ones the best, obviously, because they're the ones that are on it. But some of the G10 ones look pretty cool also. But again, this knife is all about that blade. The sliciest thing that I own. It's hand sharpened by RJ Martin and everything. These are great, and they're not expensive either. They're $160, $159. Now this is one of the knives that does come in batches, so they come out, you buy them, and then it might be a couple months more before another batch comes out. But they are not ever going to. They have no plans to stop making them. They're going to keep doing it every couple months. So just keep an eye out on their website and stuff, and you'll be able to get one. Next up, we have, this one's has been kind of the belle of the ball for the last couple weeks. This one snuck in at the last minute, but I think it definitely deserves a spot. This is the Kershaw Bareknuckle. It's really good. $69, 14C28N, aluminum handles, USA made. It's basically a stretched Natrix. This one is broken in so fantastically well. It's as smooth as a ZT. It really is. I did tweak the lock bar tension on this. Fair admittance, it was a little stiff. It wasn't bad. I probably didn't need to, but it probably would have broken on its own. But I'm impatient, so I just tweaked it a bit. But since I have, it's fantastic. And 14C28 Kershaw does. It's not only is it a good steel at this price, but Kershaw does a great job with it. So really, really liking this. This has been a nearly permanent pocket resident since I got it a week and a half ago, something like that. Next up, this one's going to be a bit controversial, I think, only because of your comments. It seems like some of you really hate this knife, but I still really like it. This is the Giant Mouse Ace Iona. Very lightweight, 99 bucks. M390, made by Giant Mouse, which is the Anso Voxnays collaboration. This one I think is a bit more Anso than Voxnays, but I really like it. You do have, yes, fancy plastic handles, FRN handles, but I think they work good. Nice deep carry pocket clip. It's super light. The action on mine is very good. Blade centering is good, all that stuff. It's just a fun knife. I really like it, and for the price, M390, pretty hard to beat. And it says Giant Mouse on it, which does mean something to me. It is a little bit of cachet. It's nice to know you've got something with a fancy brand name in it. All right. And then there were two. Next up, I think this is one of the most underrated knives of this year or any year. I love this thing. As a matter of fact, I've sent it to other knife reviewers to review. If you've seen it in other reviews, there's a good chance, and you know that I know the people, there's a good chance it was this very one, because I like to pass it around because I like it so much. This is the Steel Will Resonant, the carbon fiber titanium frame lock D2 version. I like the resonant period. I like the aluminum version also, but this one, $84, titanium frame lock, carbon fiber. It is running on bushings, but the action's pretty good on it. You can get a little bit of a flick, but it's all right. Nice deep carry clip. Super classy looking. Just super classy looking. And I think this is just one of the most underrated knives this year. I'm just gonna say it's the most underrated knife of this year. Definitely, this should have gotten a lot more heat than it did. Very, very cool knife. Right hand, left hand, tip up, tip down. It's just a super cool knife. And yeah, $84, and it looks like a $200 knife all day long, twice on Sunday. Lastly, this is another one that snuck in at kind of the last minute. Some of you guys have had these for longer, and I guess I got to review it a while ago, but it's just recently I was able to buy one. This is the Keen, designed by Ray Laconico, distributed by Mastrop. The Mastrop Laconico Keen. $140 roughly. I think this one was a bit more because I got the speedy holes. I don't remember, but I got one to review. Someone sent me one as a loaner. I went on the site that night and bought one. I love it that much. Actually, I went on the site and bought it within an hour, I think, of touching the one that I got as a loaner. Beautifully done, S35VN, made by We. Excellent quality and just excellent blade shape. And the reason, again, why I'm putting this on here, not calling it a limited edition or a sprint run, is I did speak directly to Jonas at Mastrop, and he said, yes, we are going to keep these in stock as much as humanly possible. They're expecting a bit of a dip, maybe like next month, but they'll be right back again because everybody loves them so much. And they're doing a lot of them. The Crux, the other ones, they are definitely trying to keep things in stock now. They're not just, they're still going to do drops, but it's not going to, there are going to be a lot of their knives that are just in stock. So basically what he told me is if you look on the Mastrop site and it does not specifically say this is one of X 100, like this is one of 300 or whatever, then consider it to be a production knife, and it will be, when it goes out of stock, they'll put it back in again. You do have to join the site to get access to it, but whatevs. They're doing some great stuff over there, and this is my favorite. Just the ergonomics are so good. This blade shape is so good. Yeah. So that's it. That's our 10. Now, what does that mean for what is the best? I'm going to bring out 3 here, and I'm going to explain why I chose the one that I chose, because if I had a 3-sided die or a 3-headed coin or whatever, I probably could have flipped, but I'm going to explain why I chose the one. The 3 that I have is the one that you just saw, the Mastrop Laconico Keen. I love it that much. The Spyderco Kheper and the Kershaw Bareknuckle. These are my 3 finalists. Any one of these would have been an excellent choice. And I don't think anyone would have argued with me. Let's just eliminate, and we'll get down to the one that I chose. The first one I'm going to eliminate is the Bareknuckle. Why? Only simply because I've only had it like a week and a half. And I think if I had it longer and could make more of a really truly informed opinion about it, maybe it would have won. But I've only had it a week and a half. And they announced this like nearly a year ago. So in a way, I'm not penalizing them for taking so long to come out, that we waited so long for this knife. But in a way, yeah, it's their fault. If it would have come out 2 months ago, it might have won. But yeah, Kershaw, you dragged your feet. So yeah, it's I just can't quite give it the win. I do know for a fact they've been quite open about the fact that there are more versions of these coming. There's going to be an upgraded production version, and then they're going to do the M390 Sprints like they always do. So maybe you'll see it back again next year in the upgraded version. We will see. So now it comes down to the Kheper and the Keen. And again, this is one's going to lose on a technicality. The Keen is it's mass drop, and yes, they're going to be in stock. But what does that mean with mass drop? You still have to join the site. You have to be a member to get it. It's a fantastic knife. It's a very good value. But still, even when they do drops, they're not going to be produced in huge numbers. That's just not the way it works. That's the whole point of mass drop, is to get limited stuff like this made. So going to give it to the Kheper. That is my knife over $50 for 2018. This is my winner. You can get it all the time. As I said, it's super comfortable. As I said, it was designed for food prep. This is a knife that I actually use for what they tell me to use it for. That never happens. I use this. I've whipped this thing out at restaurants several times while eating like steak and pork chops and stuff, and it works great. And it's just so comfortable, so easy to carry. And I think it looks great. I love the carbon fiber. I'm not bothered by the S30V. That is my winner for Knife of the Year for 2018. The Keen, close runner-up, and we'll see next year. Maybe a mass drop knife will win it if they're actually pumping them out a whole lot. But I want to take a minute and see first. So winner is mass drop Kheper. I just combined them. God, all this way, and then I screw up on the last sentence. We're keeping it, and I know you guys are going to make fun of me and say mass drop Kheper down below. Spyderco Kheper is my over $50 best knife of 2018. Again, tune in Christmas Day. You're going to see this face off against the one that won the budget video, which I'm not going to say because I want to give spoilers. And we're going to do a little battle to the death, and I'm going to pick my favorite knife of 2018. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.